Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, girls. How are we? I do hope that you are doing great. It is indeed good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You can now see me. Good evening, boys and girls. It is a wonderful, wonderful evening. Today is Wednesday, May the 13th, 2026, and it is an amazing evening. On today's show, we're going to talk about who children and youth. And it's a very different kind of a show that we're doing because we want on our children. I would say probably 4 weeks. We've had the young men have come in last week in talking with the young men, and we've just been drilling down on youth issues. We've also introduced it to three lovely who remembered them from last week, Zaida and Kamaya. Right? And so you're going to get a little glimpse of them again this week. But you're also going to hear from Apostle Sherry. All right? You're going to hear from her as well. Okay, so you said the sound is coming and going. And I'm sticking. Oh, no. No, not tonight, devil. All right, so we're going to play a song to see what's happening. All right, so let's enjoy some of Michelle's music while I go to check on exactly what is happening with this sound tonight. Okay? All right, we're going to get through this.
skies still gray. Sirens crying where children play. Mama kneel but she afraid to pray. Too much gone and we lose the way. We inherit a sacred ground. Now is echoes and empty sound. Footsteps heavy, no joy around. Tell me, when did we turn this around? Can my country get back its beauty? Blood on the streets, that is not our duty. This not the dream that the heroes decree. So lift up this nation, please. Lift it higher, don't let it fall. From the smallest voice to the tallest call. If we stand, we could change it all. Lift up the nation, one and all. Hey. Oh, no. Hey. Hands once built, now they're tearing down. Kings walking but without a crown. Truth get lost in the noise of town. While the youth them just drift and drown. But a spark still lay deep inside. Buried low but it can't hide. If we stand up with truth as guide, we could turn back this rising tide. Can my country get back its beauty? Blood on the streets, that is not our duty. This not the dream that the heroes decree. So lift up this nation, please. Lift it higher, don't let it fall. From the smallest voice to the tallest call. If we stand, we could change it all. Lift up the nation, one and all. From the pages past, guard the future, make it last. Freedom never was built so fast. Every sacrifice holding fast. So we rise not in rage but will. Heart steady and spirit still. One voice louder than any ill. Together strong, together build. Can my country get back its beauty? Blood on the streets, that is not our duty. This not the dream that the heroes decree. So lift up this nation, please. Lift it higher, don't let it fall. From the smallest voice to the tallest call. If we stand, we could change it all. Lift up the nation, one and all.
I tell you, lift up the nation. Lift up the nation. Are you going to lift me up in prayer tonight? Who is going to lift me up in prayer tonight? Who is watching and say, Marcia, I am going to lift you up in prayer tonight? Anybody? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Are you hearing me now? Let me know if you're hearing me now. Loud and clear? No? Yes? Yes, a life of a girl destiny. You're going to pray tonight? Yes, you can hear me now. Okay, you can hear me now. All right, so we don't know. I'm really hoping this works well tonight because I don't want you to miss a word, okay? I don't want you to miss a word tonight. I tell you, it is so important. Tonight, it's an important night. And I don't want you to miss a word. Now, we saw the images, a young woman in handcuffs being taken from a church. How many of you saw that? You did. She didn't seem violent to us, did she? I don't know what happened before, but what we saw in the video, let's be clear about that. She doesn't seem like she's resisting. She doesn't seem like there's a threat. And she seemed restrained, but they've taken away in handcuffs. So tonight we ask the question, who protects our children and our vulnerable? And we have Apostle Sherry Ann Doughty. She's going to be joining us, okay? And then we want to confront a very painful story that something that occurred years ago. Very uncomfortable reality for, at that time, a young woman, although she's still a young woman, Marsha Hinds Myrie. I'm sure I said that right, or Marsha Hinds Myrie. A 16-year-old girl abused in a safe place that she should not be abused in. She finds the courage to run. She doesn't run to the streets. She doesn't run into danger, but to a place meant supposed to protect her. In her mind, she believed it was her last hope. But what happened when that hope is shattered? When systems that are set up to protect children, when they fail, when the system turns and fails her, when the vulnerable is not protected but exploited. We want to talk about that tonight, and that's why I want you to pray as we listening might have been affected in one way or the other. Because I don't believe this is one story. I believe it's part of a disturbing pattern where we're seeing power protecting power. Remember we talked about that about a week ago when we talked about grooming, where people from a position of power, sometimes what happens is a young person goes to them for help, and it is used in an abusive way, where they use the situation in a very... Children are silenced. And you know what? In Barbados, when you talk to people, they say, oh, we all know that person does that. So all of these cases seem to remain an open secret. There's so many persons who would come to me and they would say, Marcia, this particular person did this to me. And I would say to them, I would say, really? And then I would ask, oh, this person, is this person activity? And everybody said, oh yeah, we know that. So it's an open secret. So tonight we ask the question, where do our children go when the safe places are not safe? Who protects them when the systems fail? When does authority into abuse of power? We have to ask that with the church situation. And what happens to those who try to step in and help? Tonight, we'll also be featuring 3 young women that I introduced you to last week, and I think you all fell in love with them. Yes, Kamona, there is Jalea, and Zaida. And you're going to hear them talk on leadership, on their life and future with them. So that's the light part of what we do. But as I said, Apostle Sherry Ann is going to be joining me right here in studio. And we're just praying that all goes well so that you can hear her story. She's going to speak on rescuing vulnerable young people and the resistance that she has faced. So this conversation tonight might be a little difficult, but I believe it is one that is very necessary. So I'm going to ask everybody to like and share. Go ahead and like and share. Let me welcome you all properly. Let me welcome you all properly. Now that my mic is working well. Yeah, so just welcome Teroni. Hey, Teroni, welcome. Bajan Boy, Judy Jilks. Hey, good evening, Carol. Marcia Miller. Hey, girl. Iretha. Flo, Joe Maloney. How you doing? How you doing? Are you? Andrea Critchlow, Sandra Brewster. Sandra, I didn't hear you. My prayers continue to go out to you. Jacqueline Aline. Gunner. A Gunner? First I'm saying that name. Sure. I was Canada. Lori Bob. I know I haven't sent you the information yet, Lori.
I was on the beat today, out of Mike on the move today. Hey, calendar, you gotta pray for me, guys, for a bigger staff. I need a staff, period. Hey, Diana, Lucinda, hi, Lucinda, Red, Angela White, Queen D, 246, First Wizard. I'm always, hey, how are you doing? Well, I know you said you want to hear Marsha. You're not going to hear Marsha tonight. I am going to be sharing a little bit of her story, okay? Yeah. Hey, I'm a big girl. Jacqueline. I think I cover. Hi, Joanne, Matthew B. Guys, are you liking and sharing? Very important. You like and share. Like and share. Like and share. Everybody, don't forget. Don't forget. Right? We need you to do your part. Hey, Judy Jilks. Ashley. Okay, Beverly Perskin said loud and clear. Oh, thank you, Mavis. You saw the video? Yes, please do. I do need it. I do need it, Emma White. I need it. Pray as you watch. Sherry Johnson, yes, you're late. Oh, you're Jackie listening from St. Lucia. Hey. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Yes, yes, you're right. It's a lot of even incest. Those are words that they don't want us to say those words in Barbados. I remember when I did my movie, people, they didn't want me to, they didn't want me to use that word. In fact, the cinema wanted to rate the film an R. Me, a nice Christian girl, doing an R film, and you know what they said because of the topic, because of incest, they wanted to rate it R. But these are some topics we don't want to talk about. Not that that is what we're talking about tonight, but they don't want us to talk about those kinds of things. You know. Yes, wonderful. Now, I'm going to need you folks share in your WhatsApp group, like and share, all right? Because you know how it goes. Once we start to go into these realms, you have people, they come and start to report the channel. So I need you to work with me. We're working together, all right? And prayers are going up. Hey, Charlotte Joseph. Hey, Charlotte. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we're going to go right into a pre-recorded segment, and some young people, Jalea Brathwaite, Zaida Williams, and Kamoya Grosset, they are going to share their thoughts with you this evening on leadership and life, and they're going to tell us how they feel as young people. I think that is where we would go into Marsha's story. All right, good.
Good.
You good? Wait,
Sleepy.
you're sleepy? Well, actually, we're filming this in the morning for the evening, and you have to get up what time? Come on, hold the mic. Good, you know how to hold that mic?
I had to get up at 7 something.
You have to get up at 7 something?
Yes, please.
But anyway, you just live across the road?
Yeah.
And what's your name again? Tell the people your name again.
My name is Jalea Brathwaite.
Jalea Brathwaite, who wants to be the nurse. Don't forget about that. And beside her is good morning. I'm saying good morning and evening. I'm mixing it all up because the reality is that we're filming right in the morning for the evening. But go right.
My name is Zaida Bristol Williams.
Zahira Bristol?
Bristol Williams.
Okay, wonderful. And this is the interior decorator.
Yes.
Yeah. And who is that over there?
My name is Kamoya Grosset.
Kamoya Grosset, and everybody should remember her as the 1, 2, 3. The mortician. Kamaya wants to be a mortician. And today, as I said, we're doing If I Was in Charge. But before we start, Kamaya, we're going to do a little icebreaker. Let me ask you something. TikTok or YouTube?
TikTok.
Why?
Because YouTube is just boring.
YouTube boring?
Yes.
YouTube is for old people? Oh my word! And this show is coming on YouTube. Listen, what are they telling us? And what about Zaida? YouTube, TikTok or YouTube?
I would probably say TikTok also.
Oh my gosh!
It's
That
not
they
like this.
dated me.
It's not like there's anything wrong with YouTube, but I don't like to be searching up for something and then watch the same thing. So I like scrolling and looking for different things.
Okay, so TikTok allows you to scroll, and you're seeing. So you might see something that you never see again.
Yeah. But if you save it, you can see it again.
If you see it, you see it
can-
again.
yeah,
But
you
you
can
like
see
the
it.
scrolling.
Yeah.
TikTok or YouTube, Miss Julia?
I will say TikTok too.
So that alone tells us, guys, this is why I say it is so important to have conversations with our young people, because most of you watching the show right now, you would say YouTube, right? And they are saying TikTok. But why you say TikTok?
Because to me, TikTok is more interesting than YouTube.
It's more interesting. Why? What makes it more interesting?
Because like, if you go on TikTok, you could just scroll and videos will pop up. But if
Where your
you go
voice is?
on-
Where your voice is?
But if you go on YouTube, like it's like just stand here real long to search up things, and then when you use the voice translator, it's you pure stupidness. So.
Oh, it give you pure stupidness when they use a voice. Anybody here use a voice translator on YouTube? And it give you pure stupidness to tell you foolishness?
Yeah.
Like what?
It's totally different from
But let me hear Kamaya.
It says totally different from what we ask. So if we ask to search for a song, it's gonna show you another song or something else.
What? YouTube is not accurate at all.
Not always.
Not always. That must be funny. Some of the things that it comes up with, right? But another one for you. Leader or follower? Kamaya. Leader or follower?
Leader.
Leader? Leader or follower?
I would love to be a leader, but I would follow for the right things.
Okay, so you would more choose follower
For the right reason, yeah.
for the right reader. Julia, leader or follower?
Leader.
Leader?
Yes. Yes.
Interesting. Why?
Because as my mommy always told me, that it's either it's a leader or a follower. Cause if it's a follower, you will follow. Sometimes you will follow people in the wrong path and get in trouble. And if it's a leader, you will always go a mind of your own and like things like that.
You'll have a mind of your own.
Yes,
Okay,
miss.
but Kamaya, what your mother, I'm Jamaican, you're Jamaican, what your mother tell you when she said be a leader and not a follower, what she say?
The exact same thing you just said, be a leader and not a follower.
She just says be a leader. She don't say if you're following and fall in a ditch.
No.
Never heard that before? What, Zahida, tell the truth. What your daddy tell you and your mommy? Give me the whole thing. Your dad is Dominican?
St. Vincent.
Vincentian. Okay, what did he tell you?
Well, my mother tells me to be a leader, but I feel like I have issues with that.
Okay, tell me.
Well, when I was in primary school, our primary school had a radio station upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to listen to that in the morning, and they always used to have a scripture verse or a phrase, which was to be a leader, not a follower, unless you're following to do good.
Mm-hmm.
And I would never forget that. Even at my big age, I still listen to the kids station.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Because it's very motivational.
But why you have a problem with your mother saying you must be a leader?
I don't have a problem with her saying it, but I have a problem being a proper leader.
Being a proper leader, so you're always conscious of that.
Yeah.
Being a good leader. Okay. Speak up or stay quiet.
Speak up.
Speak up. Speak up or stay quiet. Kamaya.
It depends.
It depends. Tell me why you say it depends. No, you have to choose one though. Choose one. Which one is more Kamaya?
Stay quiet.
Stay quiet and we can't hear. Huh?
Stay quiet.
Stay quiet is it's more okay. And why is that Kamaya?
Because I just quiet.
You're just quiet? You prefer to stay quiet about and not to speak up. Thank you. What about Jalea?
I will speak up.
Speak up?
Yes, please.
Oh, why is that important? She's like, I will speak up. Huh? Why that is important?
Because my mommy always tell me if you stay quiet and something happens to you, and you stay quiet, people will not know what's wrong with you, and like the same energy that you give off, people will know something wrong with you, but you will always say nothing wrong with you.
Wow.
And if I speak up, the truth will always come out, and like people, like if somebody do me something, I could always tell my mommy or the principal or the guy.
Okay, so speak up. Okay, interesting. The last one. Change the world or change yourself.
That's hard.
That's a hard one. Change the world or change yourself. That's for you at home. Which one would you choose? Change the world or change yourself?
I will change the world.
Just would change the world. Why?
Because nowadays in the world is a lot of shooting and killing, and like people just letting people get away with it, and family members got to what's the word now? Got to deal with it, and like people have been killing people nowadays for no apparent reason. Like somebody killed the grandfather for lunch meat, and that was uncalled for.
For lunch and meat. That is terrible. That is crazy. So you would want to change the world because of those things.
Yes, please.
Zaida? Change the world or change yourself?
Me personally, I would pick to be myself.
Change yourself?
To be myself.
Well, the question is change the world or change yourself first.
But I wouldn't change myself for the world, and it's kind of hard to change the world to suit me. I wouldn't want to change the world to suit what I want, but I wouldn't change myself for the ways of the world.
So you would be, you don't have anything to change about yourself.
Well, there are some things that I would change for the better, but not for the world.
Not for the world. No, but the question is, would you want to change the world?
Yeah.
Or change yourself first?
I would change the world.
You want to change the world. Why?
Similar to what Julia said, there are a lot of unnecessary things like violence, and I don't know how to put it, but violence is the main one.
You're really concerned about violence?
Because it's moving very close to younger children. Like recently, there was a shooting in a nursery, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you really do get up and think about violence?
Yeah. Because you hear it a lot, and it really makes you think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. This is why I'm saying, guys, it is important. We talk about all these different issues. If you're listening at home, important to stop for a minute, talk to your children about the news, what they're hearing in the news, and how they are feeling about it as they get up and, to leave the house to go to school. What's on their mind? Very, very important. Kamaya, would you want to change the world or change yourself first?
Change the world.
Change the world. Why?
Violence.
Violence as well?
Yeah.
Wow. Have you experienced violence in your family?
No.
No. But you're seeing it and hearing it.
Yes.
And you're afraid that it might touch your family.
Yes.
Wow. Wow, are we listening? This is a very important thing that's happening. I believe about 10 years or so, if a question like this was asked in Barbados, I don't think that the children would respond this way, because we did not have that many shootings and killings and young men killing each other and all of these things happening. But let's go to what I really we're leading up to what I really want to talk about. If I was in charge, anybody here feel, a couple of you, well, at least 1, 2 for sure, feel like you're a leader, right? You lead and you follow sometimes, right? But let me ask you something. If you were the Prime Minister of Barbados, let's give her the mic first. You are Zaida is the Prime Minister of Barbados, right? If you are the Prime Minister of Barbados for 1 day only, you have 1 day only, okay? What's the first thing you would change?
I would attempt to change the mindsets of criminals.
In 1 day, how would you do it? Counseling. You would suggest counseling for them. So that's an important thing that you would change if you could. If you were the Prime Minister, change the mindset of the criminals.
Yeah, or at least let them, because as my father always tells me, at least when it comes to bullies, they always have a reason to be a bully.
Mm-hmm.
So most people would be emotionally hurt or something like that would cause them to lash out and become a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them may not want to be, but they are. So if it is, they could probably talk about what is causing them to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it would change.
Interesting. Jalea, if you were Prime Minister, which I believe you could be, if you're Prime Minister for 1 day in Barbados, what's the one thing that you would change?
I would choose the criminals also, counseling, let them, learn from their wrongdoing, and, I won't go so far as call my mommy said that if she was the Prime Minister of Barbados, she would give back the death penalties.
The death penalty and the hanging?
Yeah, and hang them. But as I told my mommy, that would go so far. And I just won't do that to people. But I would get counseling, I think.
So you wouldn't. So if they kill people, you don't believe that they should be killed, even though they kill people.
Well, I believe that they should be killed, but not in a harsh way.
Oh, in a soft killing. But them kill people hard. So how would you kill them soft? Oh Lord, don't bother tell us on the air. Don't tell us. They might take my YouTube channel. But you want to deal gently with them. You want them killed, but not too hard. Oh, not too hard. But the crime is what you would deal with if you were the Prime Minister. My goodness. This is very serious. I honestly didn't know that this would have been the answer. But let's hear from Miss Kamaya. Kamaya, if you were the Prime Minister of Barbados, okay? What's the one thing you will change? You have 1 day to do it. What's the one thing?
I don't know. I don't really know a lot about Barbados.
I don't know. You don't know a lot about Barbados because you just came. But what is the one thing you would change about if you were the Prime Minister of Jamaica? You know Jamaica. What's the one thing you say, man, I would change that? I know you have something to say. Just say it. Don't worry. You're in Barbados and can't do nothing.
I would beat everybody that has done wrongs.
You would beat everybody. If you were the Prime Minister, you would get a piece of equipment and beat, or a strap, this child is something else. She was putting everybody in jail. The last time she said, if you do something, you are going at school, any infractions, you're going to jail. And right now she's a Prime Minister, and she would take out a strap and beat everybody in the country that do what?
Wrongs.
If they do wrongs. Yes. So all the criminals will get a lashing.
Depends on what they do.
Depends on what they do, right? But you would lash, or you have somebody you will tell them how many lashes to give them. I see. So you believe in, Kamaya believes in punishment. We understand that very, very. But Kamaya, listen, what rule in school? So let's move the consequences. If it was me, right? If I was a leader, what rule in school or in your society that makes no sense to you?
In school?
Put the mic a little closer.
In school, no suede shoes.
No suede?
Shoes, yes.
Oh, in school in Jamaica, they say no suede shoes.
Yes.
Oh, so like Clarks that are suede, you can't wear it. So you think it's a stupid rule?
Yes.
Why you say they're stupid?
Because it's a shoes. Shoes are meant to be worn on your feet. And it's not stopping you from learning, so why not wear it?
Why not wear it? That's a kind of a funny one. No suede shoes. Even if it's the same, even if it's the same, the color of the school one, whether it's black or brown, they say no suede shoes. How about my girl? Yeah.
My brain is running all over the place. I've done so many English passages about school rules that my brain is not working.
Well, which rule in school, or it could be society that you shake your head, you're like, oh my God, that one make no sense to me at all.
Well, it'll probably be that what we're allowed to wear at school.
Tell me.
Because they have this rule where your earring has to be in the first piercing. And like you can't wear jewelry, you can't wear lip gloss, you can't wear mascara. Simple things. I mean, yes, some people may go extra, but they can have a limit, but they can have a limit, but you don't have to stop it completely.
Stop it completely. But let's say at least you can wear an earring, but you can't wear it in both. But it must be in the first piercing. So, and did they say what size it is?
It has to be small.
And you want long earring reaching on your shoulder?
I want no long earrings. I'm just saying, like, even if you specify what type of earring, like some people have like 3 and 4 piercings. I mean, you could still only wear one pair of earrings, but I don't think it matters.
You don't think it matters? So you think that's a foolish rule?
Not really foolish, but it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Jalea, which rule in school or in society on a whole that you think is a rule that doesn't make any sense at all to you?
That teachers should not be students.
You think that rule doesn't make sense? Why not?
Because like if if a student do like something wrong in the classroom, the teacher should at least give them a lash or something like so. But the government said that can't be students because the parents can sue the student, the parents can sue the teachers and all, but like I don't think that makes sense.
It doesn't make sense because of the behavior of the children in school.
Yes, please.
So listen, you know, I will have to ask you because I know you see it differently. Is that listen, let me hear her rebut you on that because you don't believe in any corporal punishment at school at all.
No.
Why is that? So why would you tell her that that's a good rule and it makes sense? Why does that rule make sense to you?
I mean, because the teacher doesn't really have a place to be beating students.
Doesn't have a place? What do you mean?
Like, I mean, I understand students would do some terrible things sometimes because children are terrible eventually. But I don't think it would be necessary to beat them. There are other ways to stop them from behaving badly, but I don't think beating would probably be the way.
And I don't even have to ask Kamaya. Jesus, please. Kamaya, we know what the answer is, right?
No.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they should either.
You don't think that? Just send them to jail.
The students in Jamaica, they will not let the teacher hit them. They will hit back the teacher. So
So that's why
that
you
would
jump all the way. Don't bother with the beating, just send them to jail, right? I see, because it's okay. All right, well, to each his own. So you have the mic in your hand. What do adults get completely wrong about young people?
a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Yes.
What? Give me one at least. What's the main thing that they get wrong about young people?
They don't understand that not because we're young, but we can be overwhelmed too, and have
Repeat, a little louder.
we can be overwhelmed too, and have a
That
lot
young
on.
people can be overwhelmed.
Yes.
You think they don't understand that?
No, they don't.
I think that's true. I took a while for me to understand that about my children, especially my sons, that they could be overwhelmed. It's true. That's a deep one. That that young people can be overwhelmed too. Are we listening? How about you, Zaida? What's that one thing that you think the adults need to they get completely wrong about young people?
Well, you always hear some adults saying that how we're young people and we should be flexible and ready to move and all of that. But like we could still get hurt easily, and we don't. If it is we don't train for it, we don't move properly. So I would
Example.
think that, for example, me and a couple of friends, we play volleyball, but by the time we're done, our legs are sore, back is hurting, the shoulders are hurting because of all the serving and all of that. But people like, you could walk it off and stretch it off and you'll be good by tomorrow. But tomorrow's worse. If I lie down and I stay there, I'm not going to move. Tomorrow is worse.
It's true.
Y'all need to understand. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but y'all still need to understand that we get hurt.
You get
It's going to
hurt.
take a while for us to recover. Yeah, we could take care of ourselves, but we'll get there.
You get hurt. So this becomes applicable when your mom said, for example, get up and go wash the dishes, and then you move it. So you can walk a little faster, not thinking you just had volleyball and your body's hurting you, right?
Well, my mother understands because especially on Wednesdays, I have back-to-back activities. So I will be at school, and then right after school I have practice, and then after practice I have lessons, and then after lessons I have swimming. So I leave home at 6:30 and get home after 8 in one day. So my mother understands that sometimes I need a little break.
So yeah.
But there are other times where I would just have one thing to do, but I really overwork myself during that. So it still hurts as much.
Still hurts as much. Very interesting. And Jalea, what is that? What is that? What adults get completely wrong about young people?
That young people is be on their phone too much and don't study and like they're way bad at school, I think.
So you believe that adults get that completely wrong, that young people on their phone too much and they're not studying.
Sometimes.
You hear that from your parent. Do you hear that from your mom?
Yes, please.
A lot.
Yes,
You're on your phone a lot.
not a lot. Sometimes I'll be studying and after on the phone, I'll be using ChatGPT or Google Translator.
So you're using chat. My girl using Chat GPT. Oh wow, for your homework.
Yes, please.
Oh Lord, please, you better change that, because CXC has something now where if you use Chat GPT and hand in those SBAs, because you're going to do SBAs in third form, they are going to find out. So.
Well, folks, that's it. I know it's like somebody said, VOA said this segment is interesting. How many of you like the segment with the young ladies? These are my young panelists that I'm training. Penny's asking if she's cheating on her homework. I don't know. But is anybody else apart from BHA is finding this segment interesting? Because next week we're going to play the rest of it, okay? And I'm meeting them up again on Saturday. We're going to be filming a new segment on Saturday. It's going to be really, really great. What we're going to do on Saturday. That was interesting. Yeah. Yes, it can be picked up easily. Just what I told them, don't use it for schoolwork at all. Yes, you absolutely love it. Yes, yes, yes. I think it's so important, and that we have them speak, and just no filter. And once their parents are in agreement with it, this is a safe space, and allow them to speak. I try not to correct them too much, right? But just to let them. But the chat GPT thing, I had to say something because you got to. Yeah, that's a very important one. Okay, and we do have our discussions. We have our camera person. I can't tell you who she is, but she corrects them to let them know where it's at. You're going to see her in live and in color for the next one that we do. And what we're trying to do, gentle people, is that we're trying to have an entire team that's just young people. They are behind the cameras, right? They're in front of the camera. They're doing the streaming, and that is where we're aiming. And I think it's wonderful. I'm very, very. Now, tonight I want to move quickly into another segment. Tonight I want to talk about Hinds Myrie. And the reason I'm doing this is that I got a WhatsApp message was sent to me this morning from her by someone else. And she doesn't even know I'm doing this. But she asked for me to share. She said, share it, please. Share this for me, please. And my first instinct was, no, I'm not doing this. I'm going to be honest with you. That was my first instinct. Because I'm thinking I don't want to, bring the channel into trouble, etc. I always say for Barbados. But as I thought about it and I prayed about it, I found I how to present it, how to present Marsha's story without any kind of defamation issues, etc. And I said, okay, God, and I'm going to do this tonight. It's not a flashy story, but it's an important one. Marsha, I want you to know when I was finished reading what you said, tears came to my eyes. Tears came to my eyes. Why? Because we live in a country where silence is the order of the day. We don't speak about the things that are affecting us because somebody else is going to be offended. There's a fear of the Computer Misuse Act. We are afraid. I remember, before I go into Marsha's story, this is just my introduction. I remember Apostle Breedy, Margaret Breedy, yes, Margaret Breedy, was dragged from her house by the police force and was made to sleep in a jail cell. Why? A young girl came onto her program and told of a pastor who molested her. A 15-year-old girl, I believe, either 15 or 16-year-old, called and said, this particular pastor is living with me. And so those of you who are Barbadians, you know what that means. For her to go online and say it, and come to find out she was telling the people in the church, she was telling everybody, but nobody was listening to her. And my girl went on Facebook and told the world. And because it was done on a Possibilities channel, and she allowed the young lady to speak. The young lady, I'm going off memory, and she ministered to that young lady and brought deliverance and freedom. Molested, you know how that is. And then to put on top of that, you're living with that, you're living in silence. You can't say anything. And I want to lend my voice to that. And I say, let the hush be removed. I wrote 3 movies called Hush, Hush, Hush 1, 2, and 3 about similar. And it's because of that silence. Marsha is now a Barbadian advocate, very, very strong. She's an academic, survivor activist who has spent more than 20 years working with women and girls affected by gender-based violence across Barbados and the Caribbean. Draw experience and academic research. You know Marsha's work whenever she comes on this program, what she brings, the weight of what she brings, the research, the knowledge. Here is a young woman trying to reach forward and to help somebody, to help another young woman who is suffering. Her work challenges systemic injustice, institutional silence, and the failures of systems meant to protect vulnerable people. Marsha has served as an activist in residence at the University of Guelph and continues to advocate for survivor-centered approaches to justice and protection. Kudos to you, Marsha. You're using your pain and you're using it as a tool to help other young women. And for those of you who might say, but Marcia, what about the men? You know, I have been speaking about the men. In fact, right here in this studio for 4 weeks, we've been focusing a lot on young men. Do you know there is a statistic from UNICEF that says if you have 5 women in a room, 3 out of the 5 have been sexually abused. And so I wanted to use this opportunity to bring her story on this platform. Not that she needs it to be on this platform. Marsha doesn't need it to be on. But this is something we're not talking about enough. It makes us uncomfortable, right? Some of you are uncomfortable right now. It's painful. The memories are there for some of you right now. It's happening right here and across the region. When we traveled with the Hush movies, we saw that this was something that was happening right across the Caribbean region. Our children are being abused. And I believe a lot of what we're seeing is coming out of that. It's like a sore. It's a big open sore that we refuse to address. And I believe we are reaping the fruits of it today. A lot of those children that are on the streets, they're carrying guns, etc. They're coming out of, I believe, coming from parents who were abused and it was never looked at. Because in some cases, the very people who should protect them are the ones hurting them. So here's her story in a nutshell. It's not very long, but I think it is important, Barbados. And I chose to share this tonight. I don't even know if she's watching. I won't be calling any names to defame anybody, because this story represents, as I said, far too many children. Marsha Hinds, a young girl, living in a situation where she was not safe. And the person who was harming her, the person who was abusing her, was not a stranger. It was someone she should have been able to trust. So who could she tell that she was being sexually abused by someone she should have been able to trust? Who could she really tell? Who would believe her or them? Someone with status, influence, and authority in this very country. Who would she be able to tell? Who would believe her? But this young lady, a brave woman, her name means the spirit of a warrior. That's what Marsha means. And I hope you are sharing up this live, folks. I hope you are sharing the live. Hello, are we still here? I think we're still here. Yes, can you still hear me, guys? Yes, we're moving ahead. At just 16 years old, this brave woman, brave young girl, so she's 16, she made a decision many adults would struggle to make. She planned her escape. Viewers, she planned her escape. She sat down and she planned her escape. She found the courage to go to some agency that deals with children, that's meant to protect children, an organization that is supposed to protect children. In that moment, a child, she's shaking, she's afraid, but holding on to the last hope. She's been enduring that from she was a little child. She's now 16 and she says, listen, I want to make a break for it. She says, this is where I will finally be safe. She walked in. She spoke carefully, slowly. She's trying to explain the pain she had been living with. At first, she thought that she was being heard. But then, somebody in this organization took her aside, away from the others, and the tone changed. Believe it or not, the words changed. The intention changed. Instead of protection, she was told how beautiful she was. Instead of safety, she was being drawn into something else, something wrong. And she, in that moment, realized that she had not escaped danger. She had walked straight back into it. Try to imagine that. Everybody, take a moment. Try to imagine that. Try to imagine that. You now decide to go to someone who is supposed to help you. And that person you go to help you now tries to start to abuse you. And it is in that moment a child had to process something no child should ever have to understand. That even outside of, where she was, that safe space, into society, systems, they were they too were not safe. In a place designed to protect her, she was still seeing something to be used. What a betrayal. What does that do to a child, you think? Anybody? What happens to a child who cannot trust the people around her, or even the organizations that are meant to protect her? What happens to her mind, her sense of worth? You following me? Her ability to trust anyone ever again. The reality is that this is not one story. Because some of you in your homes, you remember. A lot of you talk about the Nightingale Children's Home, and people just whisper and talk about it. Nobody spent a day in jail for that. Nobody was ever prosecuted for that. That's another issue, nothing to do with Marsha's case. I'm talking about the story of the Nightingale Children's Home in the 60s or whenever that was. Before I even came on the scene, there's whispers. Most women in their 70s, 60s, they know about that Nightingale Children's Home and what happened there. And even though so many persons know about it, nothing happened. Nobody spent a day in jail. Nobody prosecuted. Nobody removed from their jobs. Life just went on. It's a pattern, okay? And the truth is, it's a painful, it's an uncomfortable, dangerous pattern in Barbados and the rest of the Caribbean. Can we break that pattern? A pattern where power protects power. Children are left voiceless. And everybody knows, but nobody acts. And we must ask ourselves tonight. This is not the usual show, but we must ask ourselves as a people, how many children tried to speak and were ignored? If all you're going to take away from the Marsha Hinds stories, how many children tried to speak and were ignored? How many children tried to escape and were redirected into harm? How many children are still living in silence right now? We need to really pause and think about it. The scripture says that when you do harm to one of them, say, God is so serious about it. He said you might as well put a millstone around your neck and go off in the sea. do you think that our society is going to be healthy? We're going to go ahead and we're putting up hotels, and it's all about tourism and all about development and all about money and all about all of these things, and the people are hurting. And I'm saying to you tonight, that is what you're seeing spilling over into the streets. We cannot continue like this. As a country and as a region, we cannot keep protecting systems while our children are unprotected. We cannot keep choosing silence because the truth is uncomfortable. Because when a child finally finds the courage to run and there is nowhere safe to land, that is not just a personal tragedy. That is a failure. It's the failure of a nation. And I want to use this moment. I want to use this moment to segue into the next segment, that when we speak to Apostle Sherry Ann Doughty about the many that she has rescued. Again, guys, just share and like. I want you to share up the live. I know it's not a popular topic, but it's important. And I knew after praying today, I needed to say it. I needed to speak on it tonight. Yeah. I know it's not easy. Well, we're going to take a break as we prepare for our next segment. Again, I ask you to like and to share and to, let your friends and family know that we're on. And we will have Apostle Sherry Ann Doughty speaking about what we saw online. Okay, so we're going to take a look at what we saw online. But I know you all love this one, so we're going to play it again.
Sky still gray, sirens crying where children play. Mama kneel but she afraid to pray. Too much gone and we lose the way. We inherit a sacred ground. Now is echoes and empty sound. Footsteps heavy, no joy around. Tell me, when did we turn this around? Can my country get back its beauty? Blood on the streets, that is not our duty. This not the dream that the hero decree. So lift up this nation, please. Lift it higher, don't let it fall. From the smallest voice to the tallest call. If we stand, we could change it all. Lift up the nation, one and all. Hey! But no. Hey! Hands once built, now they're tearing down. Kings walking but without a crown. Truth get lost in the noise of town. While the youth them just drift and drown. But a spark still lay deep inside. Buried low but it can't hide. If we stand up with truth as guide, we could turn back this rising tide. Can my country get back its beauty? Blood on the streets, that is not our duty. This not the dream that the heroes decree. So lift up this nation, please. Lift it higher, don't let it fall. From the smallest voice to the tallest call. If we stand, we could change it all. Lift up the nation, one and all. the future, make it last. Freedom never was built so fast. Every sacrifice holding fast. So we rise not in rage but will. Heart steady and spirit still. One voice louder than any hill. Together strong, together build. Can my country get back its beauty? Blood on the streets, that is not our duty. This not the dream that the heroes decree. So lift up this nation, please. Lift it high, don't let it fall. From the smallest voice to the tallest call. If we stand, we could change it all. Lift up the nation, one and all.
That's illegal and it's wrong. You understand what the warrant is for?
No, it's not ringing.
You can somebody go and see.
2502 24.
Somebody go and see.
Yeah, it's a cool man. I got it. So they don't. How it works over here? They don't like really like explain what's going on. They don't.
Good evening again, everybody. I'm here with the lovely Apostle Sherry Ann Doughty, right here on the Marsha Hinds show, and it's really this evening, ma'am. And I saw you were watching that video intently. What was going through your mind as you were watching that video?
Violation of rights, unfairness, hidden things that are happening behind the scenes, and being taken advantage of without people knowing.
Mm-hmm. Did it make you angry looking at it?
Yes, it made me angry when it started, because I wasn't there initially when it happened. They got a call, but when I got there, they had already dragged her off in cuffs and handcuffs.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we go into any detail, I just asked you that because I saw you were watching it, and I wondered, that how that made you feel. Well, who is Apostle Sherry Ann Doughty? Let's start there. Tell me about yourself.
Okay, so I am a woman that came from the world, having been living in sin, partying, smoking, just even fighting. I would get in fights from my friends, to defend my friends. I'm a defender of people, even while I was.
So you are somebody who would always fight.
Yes, but I.
So you fighting?
Wow.
But you see,
it's my warrior spirit in Christ.
In Christ. So you were a fighter.
Yes.
You mean, so when you say fighter, you mean like buckle and stone and all that?
Yes, I was a warrior. And when you're a warrior and you're living in sin, you war with, you think your weapons are carnal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So your war, you said, and we met up today because I went to your church, and I'm hoping that I'm able to show you beautiful. That's your life. And when you were in the world,
yes,
you were a defender of people. So your friends knew that you were always going to be there for them.
Yes.
Mm. So what was your profession? What were you involved in?
Well, I had a boutique for 25 years before God told me to give it up. Because the government taxes are really heavy. So as an apostle of God, I have to live to a certain, righteous. So I couldn't, when I was in the world, honestly, I would say in the world because it was in the world,
yes.
The Bible said to be in the world, but not of the world.
Yes.
So I would, you would have to change your invoices and stuff.
Talk to me, Apostle.
Yes, I have to change my invoices and stuff. But since I give my life to God, I will fast and cry and ask God to show me a way around this. That I don't have to change my invoices for my goods. And this is what all these stories do, but yet they won't come together and really cry out about this. So I would have been fasting and praying and asking God to show me a way around. And God said there is only one way. Honest, to
be honest.
Yes, but
if you were honest, you would not be able to make a profit.
Right. So my business started to really lack, but then God was still keeping it. It was still make sales. I was still be able to pay my rent and stuff. But then the Lord just said, "Let it go," and I give up the.
Oh my goodness. And let me tell you, that is not easy, because I know a lot of Christian people they're still involved in it, and they're cutting the corners and not doing what they're supposed to do, and they think it's okay. But in yourself, when you made that decision to become a Christian, you were cutting away from that lifestyle completely.
Yes.
So tell me, what else that you thought that you gave up the store because you wanted to be a righteous business person, okay, businesswoman. What else that you felt that what, I'm gonna have to give that up too? What else did you give up? Because I want the people to understand who is Apostle Sherry Ann.
I gave up, but like when I came back to the Lord. I give up, partying, all of the things in the world, partying, everything. I used to travel a lot, Dubai, China, Turkey, the US and everything. I even give up traveling because I just doing the work of the Lord, focusing on the Lord Jesus and what He's called me to do.
And tell me about your conversion. How did that happen? Because somebody listening and said, but how did she make a decision to leave that, all the traveling to Dubai? I mean, that sounds exciting. Who's going to want to give that up? How did you make that decision? You have your store and you could be making money in the store, but you said, I want to serve God and I'm not going to cheat. Okay. Yeah. I want to live righteously. What happened? Explain that experience to me.
I was backslidden.
Oh, okay. Yes. So you were a Christian when you were a child?
Younger, yes. When I first had a vision, I was 17 and I was in my mom's bedroom and I just looked out the window and I saw this man on a white horse and they had a lot of horsemen behind him. And I started crying saying, I would give my life. Just give me until tomorrow. Just come tomorrow. Go back and come tomorrow. But he wasn't smiling. He was just riding and coming on the horse this. So from there, I started having this fear to die. I started trying to get to God. And, but you're young, you're going to church. There's no direction. And that's why I try to really direct people because I would go to church, I would hear a sermon, I would go home, but not knowing the direction to really live for God. So I went back into the world. That was when I was like 17, 18, was baptized in the night. I just went to a crusade and and they asked people who want to baptize, and they baptized us in Miami Beach. But I was young, so I went. I went to where the crusade was, I think on Weymouth or some, I can't remember exactly, but they said they were taking people up to baptize who want to baptize that night. So I went and I was baptized at young, at like 17 or so. But I grew up in the church. So it's like my husband would say, I'm going back home. When I go back home, what are you going to do? He said, well, you're home. I said, by me going back to my father. And he said, okay. He didn't understood what it meant. We were not married at the time. And it's like a feeling that it had to get to God. So I got tired of the world. I just got tired of it.
You got tired of it.
Drinking.
So how long you stayed out there for from the 17?
Well, then when I was about 26, I went back again, trying to get to God again, started to go back to church.
Because you had that real experience. So
yeah. And then too, my son, he got knocked down and he was like in a coma for 2 weeks.
Oh
and
my gosh.
God,
how old was he?
I think 5. I think about 5 or 6.
He was knocked down by a car.
And he was in a coma for 2 weeks. And I used to, God, if you would just bring you out of this coma, I will serve you, and then I started to go back to church and everything. Same thing again, never, it's like the church, I feel people, there are many, like how I was out there looking for Jesus at a young age, but like who to help, who to really keep you and teach you, this is, you got to read your Bible, you got, while again back into the world. And then I came back in 2018, but for good this time for sure.
You made and after all you've been through, you decided that I'm coming back for good.
Yes.
And you just started to attend a church. Tell me about that.
So I started to, and in that time too, I was being attacked publicly too. It's like my life is like,
you're being attacked publicly, just going to a church?
No. Before all this, made the decision to come out.
I see. So what were you being publicly attacked about?
Okay, that this girl that I was,
you don't have to call names.
I used to trust her, my clothes and everything, and she at that time something was going on with me too. My store, I was to get my visa away, and it was like, but the Lord showed me in 3 months we've been coming back to the Lord that it was witchcraft. I saw, I had like a vision, and I saw, so I know witchcraft is real because I too would have been delivered from people sending witchcraft attacks to me. Right? So all of that, God was calling me back. I went to, a lady called me in the morning and said they have a miracle service by the People's Cathedral. And I attended, and that time I was having trouble eating. And then I got there, they call it altar call, and I went to, and I just started to cry. Snot was running from my nose, and I just recommitted. And then the very next night, they had an all-night prayer meeting, and I went to. And at the time, my husband was not converted as yet, so he waited outside for me in the car. But I spent the whole night. I stayed till it was finished.
That's a good man. Wow. And so you that.
Yes.
Coming back to God. So later on, you said no. Later on, went and you got married, and
after he converted to me.
Okay. After he got converted, so he decided to leave that lifestyle as well.
Yes. Then he saw how serious I was because he couldn't touch me. We were still living in the same house, but he was had to be in the front house, or I would go in the front house.
Yes.
And by being serious, it drew him also. He said, this is real. We had a shop in 6 Roads too. But in those, when I converted, the shop was selling liquor. People was gambling outside the shop, right in 6 Roads. And I just stopped going by the shop, everything.
You made a clean sweep. And you lost money, you lost, that's the point I want to make, because a lot of people, they will see you, but they don't realize how much you had to give up to serve God and what would cause you to do the kind of ministry that you're doing today. So let's bring us now. I went to your church, and let me tell you, I went to the church today, and I don't have the footage right now to show you because while I'm here, and you never believe, I like to be honest with you all. My husband is not here. He's my technical guy. And so everything was set up, and then I realized it's not even here anymore. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to show you the church tonight, but I promise you that I will. Okay. But I went to the church today, people, and it was so beautiful. The place was so clean. That was the first. How clean the environment was, like clean, the floor, and then the decor. Honestly, I was blown away by it. And even my husband, when he saw it, when he said, wow, this is so beautiful, because when he was helping me to put everything together, he said, Marcia, this is so beautiful. He said, look at it. You can see the woman's touch in this place. Clean. I wanted, how I do my things. I wanted to go and see for myself. Because I'm hearing about these doors and people, they're keeping people there. I camera. I told you, right? Yes. I said, I'm coming to see if there are any doors in here and anybody hides in. Where you got the people? Right? And it was a beautiful experience I had. And I'm going to share it to you. I'm hoping that Dave comes in time, technically, so you can see it. But I have some beautiful stories of, I saw some wonderful young people there who have turned their life over, just as Sherry Ann turned her life around. I met them and interviewed them. I didn't go there to interview them, but they wanted to tell me their story. They wanted to tell me what happened to them and how they changed, right? So I had to put that in because this is where I would have shown the church. So I'm using the opportunity to describe it. You haven't seen any altar pretty like that. Flowers, all kind of something, and color coordinated, man. So I want to say, so tell me about that building where you are and how so you got saved. You started in a church, go to a church like a regular person, and then you both you and your husband. What's your husband's name? Can you say that?
Ian, yes. Ian Doughty.
Ian Doughty. And so both you and your husband decided that you're going to now establish a church. Tell me about that.
Well, it was not. I never saw myself in a church, to be honest. I saw myself in the kingdom of God. But initially, this is when the Lord had told me to go to this church that was in Eagle Hall. So I didn't know the Lord. You see, when God calls you, sometimes He will throw you into a fight and you don't even realize. So I saw a post and it just came over me by the Holy Spirit, go to this church. So when I got there, I saw people on the ground screaming, going around a circle. It was an African man. So I thought that the Lord had sent me there to do deliverance. So initially, I didn't have a church yet. I was inviting everyone there. And then I started to see some signs that were bizarre, right? And like I would see, he's not preaching the word, and the word of God is everything. He would just worship and push the chairs and say, it's time for deliverance. So after I was seeing these things, I asked him why he do not preach, right? He was like, well, if you want to preach, you just bring a word and you do the preaching. So I started to preach at the church. So then, but I still was asking God, something is wrong. In my spirit, it was off. So I was praying about it in the morning about 3 a.m. or so. The Lord started to speak to me and say that He's doing things with the ladies in the church. And then the same time I came out of prayer, I got a phone
call. Things with the ladies, meaning molesting the ladies. Okay.
Yes. So I immediately came out of prayer, and this was like 3 or after 3 a.m. I got a phone call. It was one of the girls, right? There's the girls that used to clean the church. And I said, hi. She was like hysterical. She said, I showed, because she will call me prophetess. She said, prophetess, I told God to show you our prophet nurse, this older gentleman that was doing what is happening to us. You know, she said he will have sex with her and tell her that the demons will come out easier and what's not. So after that is like we did what the Bible say, you know, you talk to the person if they don't listen, call a witness.
So you went to the pastor?
Yes.
Wow, you're brave.
Yes, to tell him.
That's good.
If God sent me in there, they didn't know at the time was to expose what he was doing. So then after that, myself and some people end up leaving the church and everything. And we were going Bashar Park and pray. So
back to when you spoke to the pastor, because you didn't hear the first segment of what I was talking about, abuse, sexual abuse. Yes, and it being, you know, that silence in the country, and where a lot of times we don't do anything about it. But you went to the, and this is important because this is part of what her story. So you've got to hold that point. Her boldness. Most people would not, but so you confronted the pastor, and what did he say?
He was like, the ladies are telling lies on him. But I said, it's not the ladies who told me, it's God. God is real. God told me in prayer. And then the lady called to confirm. So it's not like she told me on her own. And he was like, he's not coming to any meeting and what's not. So after that, I just leave. I didn't have any issues. Only thing they like that he will never go in the Bible, but have it open on it. So we leave, and I was going into Bashar Park, and everyone he prayed for would throw up, would be vomiting black. It was stool black and everything. So then I was like, because I would just go at 6 o'clock and everybody would meet after work. And I will pray to the doctor, to the prayer passport, Dr. Koya, right? Prayer passport. And let me tell you, I saw people would be delivered through doing prayer from that book. And then after everyone was good, I was going to go back to the People's Cathedral, and I hear God say, no, stay. So I was like, God, our Sunday is preaching the part. I was like, God, is this you? You know, so the first Sunday went, nothing happened. Second Sunday, we just preach.
So tell me something. I mean, you just took a microphone, and you were using a microphone?
A small, the boom box, you call it Bluetooth, the Bluetooth speaker.
So you are an entrepreneur with businesses, town and 6 roads, close them down, right? Because you want to follow God, and you are inside a park. With a boombox. Looking back at it, what do you think? You were crazy?
But you know, God has called you to do some things sometimes that are crazy.
Yes, but continue your story. Yes.
Yes. So it was at that time it was myself, my husband, my son, and about the same 2 girls that left that used to clean the guy's church, and a dumb fellow. He just came and joined us, this dumb guy. And I would just go there and preach. And then one Sunday, this lady came. This was the 4th Sunday. And I just start to pray, do warfare prayers. And she's back down on the ground and start to bark, like move like a dog on all 4s and scream. So that was my first experience when my
deliverance
ministry started. Like really started not praying out of his book, but just praying.
And you're seeing people set free. And a lot of people you're watching, and then you're saying, why are people behaving that way? But in a church, let me clarify something. In church, there's something deliverance. And there's some churches who practice that because they believe that people are bound up and they need to be free. And so Sherry Ann is going to tell, Apostle Sherry Ann will tell us a lot about, more about that as we continue. So move us now to, so you stayed in the park for how long?
For about 2 years.
For 2 years? Every Sunday you preach in the park?
Every Sunday. I know I have deliverance services on, I think, Wednesday nights.
Wow.
Sundays.
Interesting. So you went 3 times then?
No, twice.
Twice a week.
And
Wednesday. Oh, because it's Sunday now. Okay, I see. Sundays. So you didn't. Okay. So, wow. And you saw people started coming, and the numbers are growing.
coming.
Did you
even in the
advertise? Did you advertise?
Well, I will put up deliverance videos by those things
Mhm.
because they felt as though the devil kingdom is hidden in plain sight.
Mhm.
So I wanted to expose those videos, and then people would just come. People would just come.
Come from
To get help.
everywhere. And so now walk us into that beautiful, how did you acquire that beautiful place that I saw today?
Okay, so it was on. I went after that, being there for 2 years. I went on the beach, Bronze Beach, and I would preach there every Sunday.
Yes.
Or keep all night prayer meetings. Some
On the beach.
So, yes, and we would have a tent and lights, and we would pray till morning, and then we would have breakfast on the beach. Everything.
That sounds fun. You had a lot of young people or older people?
Mix.
Okay.
Mix.
And back in the day, you would try that now?
Yes.
You would still do it now,
Still
even
do
with
it
all
now.
the crime?
Still
All
do
that
it now.
prayer meeting on the beach?
Honestly, I would still do it.
You
now.
would still do it now. Wow, wow, wow. And what was I'm trying to imagine you're out there under the lights, and but you had a tent and you had food and music and wow.
Just enjoying God's presence and praying. And in those days, people will manifest and just be running and vomiting all over the beach, just vomiting, spirits leaving them.
And that's for her. That is deliverance, okay, for a lot of people who are watching and might not understand what that is all about. So then you move now to and then from the beach.
Oh, yes. So the Lord was saying that some person prophesied to me too. One day just contacted me from Africa on Instagram and said that God led them to message me and say that God, but in this time I was also fasting because I felt in my spirit like it was time to go from the beach too. And the person said they started the glory of God. And God says he want to bring the glory to his ministry. And he told them, I was looking around for some place, and the brother of mine, he does like street ministry, like early on in the morning. He would go over, God sent him a prayer. And he was praying through the gap. And he said, and he realized like this building, like it don't have like it for rent. Oh no, sorry. He saw rent on the building, but at the time, when I contacted the lady, it was a bar or something. So then when I contacted, he found that place by just praying. And he said, God, tell him, call me and tell me about it. And I contacted the lady. She said, well, she don't think that site would be good for a church, but she have a place upstairs where it had church before, and they have microphone, drums, piano, and monitor and stuff like church things, and an altar, a pulpit. And she just went ahead. We did transaction. That's how I got into the building where I am today.
Where you are today. And I saw you did a whole lot of work. But I mean, you went into the building, but I know you had a lot of struggles getting into that building, and getting it ready for, because we now see a beautiful building. But you had a lot. I'm sure went through a lot to bring it to where it is today.
Yes, but when I got the building, it's like God was with us. Like we decorated, painted it over everything, and we moved in 1 week. We just moved in. It was fast, though. It was fast.
Because you're out on the beach, so anything right now, you just moved in and so on.
And yeah, we just moved in really fast. God worked out everything, and God had told me to take $3,000 off of my account to pay off of my account, my own account, and pay the down payment. And then I did that, and just like that, some person said they're giving me a $3,000 seed. So because I had to pay $6,000 to move in.
So when
I drew off the money, I surrendered my money.
Yes.
I just got a seed, and I had $6,000 just like that.
Yes. Wonderful. I'm gonna get to some of your questions. Yes. Okay, I'll get to a little later, but I think that it's important for you to hear her backstory. you know, because sometimes, folks, we sit in our homes and we see something on social media or even in the traditional media, and we form our own opinions about people. And as you know, I'm always about seeking truth and understanding. And that's why I called you today and I came down to your church. So listen to what she's saying and get to understand who she is. Continue to like and share, please. Very important. So you're at this is your church. You're in this, where you are is in town. You're in town. You're in the city. That's not easy. Tell me about that positioning of you in the city. How important is that to your kind of ministry?
Well, I think that everything starts in the city, to be honest. The demonic, homeless, suffer, like people will live in the country and actually leave the country to come to the city to get food, to get help from various places, even like, will come to the city. Everything to me starts and ends in the city. So the fact that God placed is strategic of God to place me in the city where, even people will just people just find there to get food, to get help. They will say, oh, boss, the lady over the church, tell her need help and everything. So God put me in that central area for a reason.
And in fact, you were telling me that, part of what you were involved in is feeding the homeless. Talk to me about that ministry, that part of the ministry that you were involved in.
Yes. So we would, do things and then go and drive around all over the square, different parts of town where we know homeless and stuff like that. And also I will help families because it's okay to help the homeless, and I love to help the homeless too, but I want to do it bigger because when you provide a meal and that meal has, they ate that meal, they will still be hungry. The next later in the night, they will be hungry. The next day, if you only doing it like once. So I really want to do it bigger. So right now it was homeless, and now I'm helping like families, people, that have children, where like warm macaroni and two tunas the 2 days, for a small family. So right now I'm helping some small families.
So you're doing a lot of practical work there in the city. Now, there is something very unusual about your ministry, and important for people to understand that, and that's why we went into the history and how you got it started, and of the homeless and helping families. You have a very interesting setup, folks. That beautiful church that you see there, I'm sorry, you're not seeing it. I'm telling you about it because you will see it another night. Lovely chairs. It is so beautiful. You, at night, tell us what happened at night with those chairs and that space.
Right. So at night, we will move away the chairs, and we will put down the so that people who really, like, some people, it's to help people that have no voice. Some people, they're sacrificed and tormented by their own family, and they feel as though they have a need to accept it and not be able to do anything about it. But when God lead them to me, to the church, as I told you, it was a defending the world. So I will pray for them. I will provide help. If the church supposed to help, if a person don't have some place to sleep, as a minister of God, scripture says, I was hungry, they didn't feed me. So it's my
So you convert the church into a hostel, basically.
Yes, at nights.
At nights, and then in the morning, then they
who have to, even people sleep there who have jobs, so they would in the morning, put up their bed and stuff, and dress and go along to work. Very normal. So it's a normal living. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I must say that I saw the beds and I saw the whole setup. You know, and you know what's interesting about what you said there is that there's so many, especially women that we and men too that we come to me through the show, and sometimes you want a place to send them because they where they are it's very abusive, and so they want to leave, but you know rent is high, they can't go out on their own, and they're looking for a place to stay. There's a ministry led by Steve Skeet, where sometimes I would send the men to them, but we don't, you know, for me, I'm always at a loss. Where do we send women who feel that they're in an abusive situation? What are we going to do? What about a husband who's abusing a wife? What are we going to do? Where do they go? Oftentimes they send them to the homeless shelter, you know, which for them that's not their issue. You know, they're mixed up with all kinds of different people. But you're providing a space for people, young people, all different people of all different ages, right? Male and female.
Male and female, but the males get hit. The males don't sleep with the females or anything like that. Is a separation, but is a godly place. Is not about any male. There be no one there is in a relationship. Anything is just about helping people who need help to even receive deliverance. Because when we talk about this physical aspect of the turmoil and trauma that people are receiving, we have to talk about the spiritual side, because you know, we are spirit and we are physical body and we are spirit. So a lot of these people, their trauma starts from spiritual. They're being tormented spiritually and it's causing their lives to go down physically. So I just wish that even all the churches would open their churches to the people. And it looks weird to people that people are sleeping in my church, because other churches are not
doing
standing
that,
up
yeah.
and speaking out, and they're you know, they just want to keep church on.
Somebody's asking, where is the church?
Magazine Lane, opposite the synagogue, straight down to the bottom of the stairs.
Yes, magazines. Yeah, right. Somebody said the chairs are comfy, but you actually provide. I saw the beds. They're blow-up beds and they're regular beds, and everybody's tripping around. Those that are there, because some of them would have been gone out to work already. And I know that there's a similar program run by Steve Skeet, and where the men, when they come out of, you know, they might have come out of prison and they want a leg up. And he provides a home for those men, and they go to work and come back in. So I'm very familiar with what you're speaking of. So now bring us now to this particular instance of what happened with this young lady, without calling anybody's names. You know, just tell us, now, bring us to this current situation where tell us what happened.
Okay, so what happened is that she first came to me 2 years ago. I don't know those who have seen the video in the green short skirt. I'm not who put that video up there. Her families who put that up there to try to make me look bad. But 2 years ago, she came to me for deliverance. She was very sick and everything. God fixed that. She was delivered. And then I didn't hear her for a while. Then I would hear her in and out. If she going through something, she would message me, you know, ask me to pray for her over the phone and what's not. So just over a year ago, she was like being tormented spiritually, and she was, you know, sick, and she couldn't sleep. And she came to me and she said that she's fed up with the world. She had the encounter. She feels as though, you know, the rapture, like Jesus is coming soon. So she want to change her life. So she came.
So she was about 20 years old then, or so. She's 22 now.
She's 21 now.
21
yes,
now.
So she
okay.
was 19.
19. I see.
Yes. So she came. She told me she wanted to. At the time, she was never living with her mom. She was living with a boyfriend. So she called me. collected her from the boyfriend, right? And from there, she was with me. The boyfriend's mother would act. It's so crazy because the boyfriend's mother would act just like her mother. Would be calling all hours, come back, but me come back. She even called me a hypocrite. And I was like, am I a hypocrite? They're not married and you're encouraging her under your roof to be with your son. That's wrong. She don't want that life that she want to change, start, trying to force her. So eventually his mom stopped calling and everything. This was over a year ago. Then her grandmother come out. So she went to the no, I don't want to come. So the grandmother said, they have on you that just like you give up your life, give up partying, give up your friends, everything, and just want to say you want to be with God. So she says, and she had an encounter, she just wants to serve Jesus. She's adamant that she just wants to serve Jesus. So after that happened, then the mother would show up, and there was a time her mother came, and her mother even came into the same church, and she prayed for her mom on the altar. Her mom and her, they had their own little meeting in church, and she prayed for her mother by the altar, was ministering to her mom. At this time, her mom was not a police as yet. Then after that, the father came one Sunday after church, was cursing, carrying on, telling her come outside. And she said, why all of y'all are coming saying, trying to force me to come with y'all? I don't want to come, So then that died down after a while. And then all of a sudden, one day the mother showed up to the church in police uniform. And I was like, I jumped because I know she was not a police. But it looks like she entered the force to be able to bully her daughter.
Well, that's what you think, because on the show we have to say that is your opinion of it.
Yes, my opinion. That's what I think. Because immediately after joining the police force, she went to training. But then when she had the actual uniform, she just came to the...
So it appeared that way to you.
Yes, it appeared that way to me. And then it was also confirmed because after she was entered the police force is when the harassment started. The bullying
started.
And everything. So it was confirmation on how it looked to me. Right? Bullies on the police would just come and keep on. Like it's as though they felt as though I would never bring it into the open. So they kept doing it. Keep coming.
So when the police came to your place, like when she started, the police started to come to your place, what would they be saying to you?
There was a time, but they never showed me. They came and they asked if there's a KB and a roll. Oh God, their name. If there's her name, then I say, yeah, she's here, show them her. And on the search warrant say that they heard that, on the search warrant say they believe firearms is on the premises of a church, firearms. Yes, so they didn't give me the search warrant initially. They just were walking up and down, saying like where she's being here, like those kind of things. And then they told her to come and go, but I was there, it was opening my mouth, I was saying, she's not, she don't want to go, she's good, why are you bullying her? So the sergeant told her to stand up by the wall, and
excuse me, but by this time she's about 20 years old, you would say?
She's 20, the same 21.
21, so she's 21, okay. So she's 21,
yes.
And she was living with a boyfriend and decided to come and to be part of your arrangement at your church.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Your living arrangement.
Yes. So then, right, so the police put her to stand by a wall and said, let me take this picture to show your mom that you're okay. So he took the picture and he told me why he was taking the picture. He said to smile. So she smiled like a mugshot. He took the picture and then they left. They didn't force her that time. They wanted to see she was okay to show the mother.
So they said they came to look for firearms, but did they look?
No, they didn't. They never looked. They never saw her. It was all about her. this started like a couple of months. The harassment from the police, that the mother get the uniform. So after they left and everything, then they came back another time and everything. They were like that time. They were like seven of them or something. They walked through the building, everything. Then they left. Then they came back the nighttime. But if you know the guns that have, I can't remember.
They came back with guns?
Yeah, the one that have the green light. Where if it's dark, it would be spotted.
Right.
So we just like saw these green. I don't know how these people is getting the place either. Then we just saw like green. We didn't even see when they enter. We just see the green light moving on the wall.
What?
And maybe look, police with the head, those black masks and stuff. And I'm like, y'all come to kill us. Y'all come to kill us. I start screaming. I start saying murder, murder. And then they run back down the stairs.
What?
Yes.
In Barbados here. You're saying that the police came with guns. That's what she's alleging tonight, guys. That's that they came with guns and you saw the green light.
The green light that is spot on the wall. I don't know, it's like a special gun. Because we saw the lights and then we saw all of them to the top of the stairs.
It's about 7 of them, you said, at that time?
It looked like about 7, or it could be more. It was so much. Like how you saw all of those in the picture. I don't understand. Coming like if we're criminals and people, they're just arrest her, take her to the station. So in my mind, I thought that.
So that night they left. They left. They didn't take her that night.
No, they didn't take her that night. They came back now. They came back on the 22nd of March again. They came on the 19th of March, then they came back on the 22nd of March. The Sunday we were preparing for church. We cleaned up the church, cleaning, putting everything in place for service. And they showed up again. And this time they took her and they told her to come and go to the station. And they were like, come and go to the station. She was like, she don't want to go talk here. So they said they just want to take her to the station to talk. And she started to, like, she gets sick or something. She ran in the bathroom and she was throwing up. And she was so scared, she was throwing up all in the toilet. And a young police girl, because they even told her, look at you, a young girl, you should be married and serving the Lord, not here dressing like a man, because she's part of the special unit. Dressing like a man, acting like she's a man or something, full and up and down. I told her that. I said, look at you, young, beautiful girl, and you in the force looking to do wickedness, And she was in chorus. She was trying to push her to go to the police station. She was like, let me talk. You good. Just come. We just want to talk to you. So they took her that day.
Did they handcuff her at that time?
No, they just walked behind her in front of her. She was scared and they left with her. I went to the station and I was there so long. They had her in the back and it was up front and everything. And then I just left the station because I had service. I went to service. And it's only then when she came back this time, she told me that.
So of her free will, they took her to the station, then she went to her mother after they took her to
It was not her free will because they made her, they would not go.
What I meant was that after they took her to the station, they spoke to her and then they took her to her mother's house.
That's what I was not about to tell you. They took her to the spiritual Baptist church. And they rubbed egg over her. She said they spit in her. The bishop spit her face 3 times with chisel and olive oil, and they put her to sit in the middle, and they were all around her foot with a broom humming. They made her write her name on. They wrote her name on the candle. And I told her to break it and hit it in the ground. And she said that they put something on her body, rub egg all over her, and so this was initiated. Who the police dropped her and. The mother came straight to the spiritual Baptist.
The police, this is her account.
Yes.
Her account is that the police
she told me this.
The police dropped her
to the
So the
spiritual
spiritual
Baptist.
Baptist, so that's what she's saying.
Yes.
Wow.
And then she said they took her there, and they dropped her off there, and the mother friend took her into the place, and they were telling her they're removing what I put on her, protection from me. And I'm like, the only thing they can remove from this girl is love. I'm not that, because she loved me. Love first. I actually love her little daughter. And there were, I can't remember the rest of things that they did. And then after that, she felt like control. Like after that, she told me like these abscess come up, or if you see her foot, she got abscess on her feet and her hip and other places abscess, and she go see her feet would be cold and everything. So after that happened, I didn't see her for a while. Me in and out, and then after that is this. I want to get everything right. This, I think, is the Thursday. It's like she catch back herself and get strength, and it was Thursday, and she called me. Right, she asked me if I know any taxi people that I could send for her. So I went on Google and I was looking for taxis in Oystins area, and this man, I can't remember the taxi service, but I called him because she didn't have credit. I called him. I said, can you get to this young lady for me? She really needs to leave urgent, because this like is no time she could get away, right? But I didn't tell him all that. So he got through to her. She messaged me back on WhatsApp. He get through. He said he coming at 8:30 and everything. Then no, I have a video in my phone. She was showing me the taxi man was actually pick her up. Oh, she got away and come up to the gap, and then she showed me the taxi man was driving with her. And then all of a sudden, I will tell you something, witchcraft is real. All of a sudden, the taxi man said, where are you going? You should be going down to this place. I'm an ex-police. And he turned around the car and carry her right back to the home. Yeah, that's whole then.
An ex-police?
Yeah, he said he was in the force. And he turned around and the taxi and took her right back to the mother. Yes. And
so how did... So wow, that's interesting.
Weird.
Very weird.
Yes,
but she's 21.
She was pretending. She sent me the video.
She's 21 years old. She should be free to go where she wants to go.
That's my point. Yes. So after that, no, she asked me if I could find a way for her. I will come, and then she was like, okay, and she got away. She was waiting. When I got up there, she was waiting for me. Like she lived through off the road. When we got there, she was hiding someplace so they didn't get there. And they started coming fast. She jumped in the vehicle. We drove away. This is the Thursday. Then the Friday now.
And again, listen, based on what Apostle is saying, she is wanting to leave of her own. Okay? She called you.
Yeah, she called me. She tried to get away, and the taxi man was an ex-police, took her right back to the mother. I don't understand. This is so bizarre. And I went to collect her, brought her back down, and then everything was good. And then I leave there to come back, and then I got a phone call. Apostle, they handcuffed Kabiana and dragged her out. I was not even there. So I was angry with them. I was like, well, y'all didn't tape it to have proof, and they were the police were stand back. The police even locked one of the other sisters in the kitchen.
And if I could say something about this, that I had the opportunity to interview that young lady, and she explained how she was locked in the kitchen, and that's what she's alleging. She was locked in the kitchen. She showed me how it happened and everything, and exactly what happened. And her allegation is that the police locked her in the kitchen. But so continue.
And she showed you how she had to climb through the window.
She had to climb through a window to get out. Yeah.
Yes. So after where was I? Right. So then I got a call. Right. So the thing is, God is so good that we were supposed to have service on the Friday night, but we were getting. We have not brought in cameras. A professional photographer from New York had no brought-in cameras for us, and he was there setting up.
Mhm.
So while the police was like, don't take no pictures, don't record, and like bullying them, he had on Meta glasses. So that's what you see.
Meta, the Meta
Meta
glasses. So someone was here in your ministry
Yes.
and had, so the others couldn't use their phone
Couldn't use their phone to tape it. and
because they were scared because the police was saying that the
so
police.
don't tape if they tape, and the police was like pushing them back, stand back, stand back. Yeah, and lock the.
So that what we saw is somebody had a Meta glasses. You hear about that, guys? Glasses that can record,
And
video
the police
record.
they realized because they were. So he was like, when he was like, when
Technology.
yes. When I was asking why, why y'all didn't tell, he was like, don't worry, I was sending it to you. He had E6 phone, I was doing it, but he were looking right at them and recording with the glasses, so they were not able to stop that. And I know that's God, so that we could get the footage.
Wow.
And the things he said, he did not know my church was under so much persecution, because he messaged me on, he will follow me preaching and stuff on Instagram. And that's when we made the plans on Instagram that I was sending money, he will bring in the camera, and then he will hook it up and bless the church for free.
Oh, so you can have a better production and so on.
Stream live and stuff. So he came in to do a wedding, and he said he would do the wedding and the church at the same time.
Right.
He gone back, he was only here for like 2 days or
to capture it with his glasses.
yes. So that
Wow.
was God that was helping us.
Because you needed that to be able, and so then you put it out.
Yes. Well, I'm not a fearful person, but to be honest with you, how these police were moving, I had some fear. I was like, if I put this up, the police might try to charge me, or I was like, people will take it in their own context. I heard the Lord say, I have not given you a spirit of fear, but love and a sound mind. And the Lord said, do not be afraid. And I said, you know what? I'm here to fight for the people. Whatever happens, happens. I have to put this up. And this, I know the Lord wanted me. I see people commenting and saying, God, don't do this social media. How you mean? But the devil is use social media to advertise.
Exactly. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. That's being religious. Yeah.
Yeah. So God wanted me to expose it, because they would have been back. But because the mother told her, if I can't get the police to come anymore, I'm going higher. I'm going to get
that's what was told to you, because we have to.
That's what she told me, that the mother said.
The young lady told you that. So,
yes.
Okay.
And also,
that was what was reported to you.
To me.
That is what we don't know if that was what was actually said, right? So somebody says here, let me just read some of the comment. In my view, the lady trying to do God's work, right? Somebody says everything for you is which church, and she's doing a lot of practical work. She's helping the homeless. She's providing a space for people who feel abused, that they can, like almost like a halfway house, that they can come and they can get back on their feet. I met somebody there from Kenya, who, she has her job, but she saw the thing online, and she's actually, at least she comes there. She's a member of the church, is what I'm trying to say. She's a member of the church,
and she has a really good job. I don't tell her up or anything.
Right, so she, yes.
She's an auditor. She comes to the church.
Yes.
She spends time in the church. An auditor, a woman that have a prominent job, and there's no harm done to her or anything.
Right. Somebody was saying they can't hear because of my audio. Are you hearing me? Yes, thank God for the glasses, or else we would only hear their account of it. And was she resisting? Why did they put the handcuffs on?
Because I was told, because remember
you weren't there,
right? She was saying, I'm not a criminal. Why y'all keep doing this? I don't want to go. Why you treating me like a criminal? They took her in handcuffs and barefoot too. She was actually barefooted. She was resisting. She don't want to go because she know they're gonna take her right back to the mom again, to the control, mind control, and everything.
Yeah. So what happened when this time when she went to the police station this time around? What happened?
So she said the police were telling her sorry they had to do that, but they had to get her out of that for her mom, and they had to get her out of that place.
So they told her that they were sorry.
Yeah, that they were sorry.
That they had to do
and
that.
they asked her if she's gonna go back there again after they let her take her by the mom. And she said she told them, yeah, she's going back. There's where she want to be. She's not in any harm. She just want to be with God. And they were saying, do not go back to that place. She trying to get her to bring her back. So she told them, just take her for her shoes because they took her barefoot. And so that she know when they got back, I would be there then, by then, to pray or whatever to get her to. And she said, they said, no, we're not taking you back.
So what the police, what is it that what's a major concern that the police have with your church?
Well, the major, this will become spiritual if okay, I don't know if people, I find that Barbados, money in Barbados is so prevalent but still hidden in plain sight. So many people are controlled by spiritual wickedness in high places that the Bible speaks about. So okay, a person can mind control a person through witchcraft to speak what they want them to speak, right? So they had a lady that was in my ministry, so they're just being transparent. And she's Guyanese. She joined the ministry with her friend, which is 2 sisters, a husband, and children. They're still there. And this is 4 years now or so. But her child father from Guyana was controlling her through witchcraft. And he would actually, people gonna beat me for this, but the truth, actually travel into her body and speak through her mouth and control her.
No, but speak your truth. I mean, this is what you do, and so this is what you do. So you're saying that spiritually, this is what you've experienced.
Yes. So I was helping this small lady, very good. She would get deliverance. God Himself would deliver this woman. She started to get better, started to put on size. Demonic torments was going down and everything. And then her child father would control her. So her and the lady Kiwana, she came to me with
no names.
But she all over Facebook talking about me too. Right. So she was controlled, and she went and told the police that I have her passport. And it's so painful because he was trying to control her to come back to Guyana. She, with her friend who is a witness, even told the police, she brought the passport and told me, hold it for her, Apostle. Don't let him take me back to Guyana, right? For him to sacrifice her and what's not. And it really, people don't know the pain I've suffered because trying to help people, them in the spirit come up in their body.
And so they told passport. So then that starts a whole thing that the police thing, you're holding people captive.
Right.
As captive there. Okay.
Yes. And they went and lied on me in the police station and said I have her passport. Even when she was talking to the police, I was looking at her because I knew what was happening. So I was telling the police, this is her being controlled from inside her body, like being a prisoner in your own body. And the police said that it's her being seen, it's not her child father. And she's saying you have the passport. And I'm saying, officer, I never took it. She gave me and told me to don't allow him to force her back to Guyana.
So okay, but she's so. This is why I thought that we needed to have the conversation, and I wanted Barbadians to know what happened to this woman and her church and that young lady, the young lady who was handcuffed. Just from what we saw from the video, it didn't look like she was resisting arrest or anything. I don't know if she had committed a crime.
She was asking why. They never
Right, they
even
were
said
asking,
anything.
so why do you handcuff someone? Is it that she was out of control, or what was it? What was the
That's what it looked like she was saying, and the other members was saying that she was just like saying, "Why? What did I do?" You could hear it in the video. What did I do? Why you treating me like a criminal? And they were not talking. Like they didn't even tell her this is the reason. This is the it's not even. She asked them that you brought me along barefooted, and they were saying they're sorry, but they had to get her out of that place. So she was never accused of any crime. She was never taken to the station and charged or accused or anything. She was just taken to the station, and then I actually went to the station, and I was driving so frantic, even when I was turning in, and when I got there, and the same police lady that was in the video, she's always be a part of it. But Kaviana told me that's her mother's friend. They're close. So when I got there, it says Kaviana Rollins here, and the same police lady said, yes, she is. I said, well, I would like to speak with her. And she said, well, she's here and her family's coming to collect her. I said, but how you mean collect her? You know, this is wickedness. Y'all took her and she came back again to the church, and you came back for her. I said, this is not right. She was like, her family is coming to collect her. So it was just like, okay, and I leave.
Well, folks, I saw what happened there, just the video, and I wanted to understand a bit more about what happened. And I am still, regardless, I mean, people are saying we need to get the side of the mother, which is true. It would be good to hear the side of of her mom, and her grandmother and her family, etc. But I think that the main point here, though, is that this is a 21-year-old young lady, and because sometimes, when it has to do with the church, we are so judgmental. We say the church is judgmental about the world, but then the world as well. There is no trying to understand anything. Once it come onto the church, some of you believe that everybody, once it's a church, they should all go, be locked up. That's the feeling that people have, that, they're fed up, they hate the church. And so anything with the church, it's bad, and thing, because I'm surprised that there's not much uproar about this, even in the media. Even in the traditional media, because a young lady at 21, a police, based on what we saw, she's handcuffed, barefoot, brought to the station, and to this day she's not been charged with anything,
Nor accused of anything.
Or accused, based on what we are understanding here tonight. And that is really what that is really what is important for us to understand now, because sometimes, as I said, we get caught up in saying, well, this, it's the church and anything can happen in the church, and we think the worst of a situation, and that is down there for myself. And I actually saw the young lady, and I told her, no, I don't want to interview you, because I didn't want to put her back out there. I told her in time, we'll have our conversation. But I wanted, as we close this interview this evening, what do you want to say to Barbados?
You say you saw the young lady today, but when you saw her, did she look to you like she was sick or in any harm?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. She was ready to talk to me. In fact, she came out expecting to talk to me.
Yeah.
And I told her, no, I didn't want to. I didn't feel like I wanted to engage her again. But the entire atmosphere was beautiful. I'm not going to tell you any lie. I'm not going to wait there for myself. And I did not get any bad vibes. Everybody seemed upbeat. and the place is clean. I went through the different rooms, right?
Yes.
I went
even the
through,
bathroom.
right. I went through the rooms and I wanted to say, let me see the people that you got in here, sister.
Yes.
Right?
And you can know you're not on my side. Well, not on my side to be biased, because this is the first time I ever heard, of you. This is the first time I ever spoke to you was today.
Yeah, and the first time I spoke to you and I met you, so I've never been to the church. For those of you who think that I'm a member of her church, I met her by phone today. Somebody contacted her for me, and I spoke to her. And while I was talking to her on the phone, I felt like, Marsha, get up out the house and go down to the church, right? Yeah. So I would say, somebody said, okay, yeah, I went. Yeah, so let's say, but that has nothing, her, you can't get your own son control. But listen, this is my problem with my Barbadian people. Principle is principle. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Do you know how many politicians, how many pastors, how many teachers, how many lawyers have children that they cannot control? Are you aware of that? That there are many people who have children that they cannot control, not just this lady. So why are we singling her out? Focus on what has happened to the young lady. And that's our problem. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Talk to nobody should be fighting for nobody's child. Yes, there is a time though, Tanisha. I'll tell you this. Tanisha, I agree that yes, I need to speak to the mother, but to say that nobody should be fighting for nobody's child, that is exactly what we started the program at the beginning talking about. That is exactly what it is, this silence. And everybody decide that they're keeping silent. I'll tell you this quick little story of mine, that I'm the director for Praise Academy. So where you are, this is Praise Academy. Right? And we had a lady, beautiful young lady. And she, Christian girl, and things, but at the retreat, she started to cry a lot and so on. And she told some of the older girls that, her father was molesting her. A beautiful, wonderful girl at St. Michael's School. She was, I wouldn't say where, but she was top at St. Michael's School. Let me put it like that. Okay? And her father was molesting her. And she told me, I couldn't believe them. Father is a worship leader at the church. I know them. Wow. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, what if she's going off? Okay, what's going on? However, she then showed us that he also beat her up. Physically abuse her. Yes. And so, we are trying to figure out what to do. But nobody wants to get involved. You understand? So we decided, So I told her, when you go to school, go and tell the counselor. Okay? And it reached a point where she stayed home from school to do her revision for CHC. And he stayed home from work as well and raped that child. It's the truth. You all don't want to hear, but it's the truth. And as a school, we had to step in. Do you understand? We had to step in
to fight for some person.
To fight for that child. We were the ones who had to go to the mother and said, this is what happened. I did. And that thing was driving me nuts, I'm telling you. And she was taken out and put in, they put her in the mental, all kinds of things happened with that child. And we had to stand up for her and fight for her. So to say that you don't stand up for somebody else's child, I don't agree with that. I do agree we need to have the conversation with the mother. I have no problems with that. But we need, that's the thing, we need to be fighting for other people's children. But as we close, what do you want to say to Barbados?
Speak now.
Yes, go right ahead.
What I would say to Barbados is that a lot of spiritual victory right here in our country. A lot of people, and it's happening, the devil is using people's families who are closest to them to do wickedness to them. A lot of sacrifices are happening to the young people. A lot of childhood sacrifices are happening. This is, things don't just when a person is older. Things happen when the child is of young age. So a lot of this is happening. I want to say to Barbados, like, really seek the Lord Jesus and try to change from the lifestyle, because there's a waste. There's nothing out there without the Lord Jesus. And I want to say to the churches, open your doors, help more people that really need help, not just one. And deliverance is the children's bread. Everyone need deliverance. I myself would have had deliverance all in 2018, and God still continues to deliver me. When I do deliverance on people, they say things to me, and God still continues to deliver me. And also, Barbadians really stick to the point of things, the root of things, always like putting your own opinion to things, but everything has a root, and it starts from a root. It doesn't start from your opinion or how your perception of how something is. So you really gotta look deeper. People always need to be open. So much demonic things are happening all around us, and it's hurt me because it's hidden in plain sight. It's so much things happening in the government, in the schools, in workplaces. So much wickedness, spiritual wickedness is happening. And also, I want to close off by saying, I will continue to fight for Caribbean. I will continue to fight for the people of God. I will continue I tell God, use me, God, however you want to use me. So I will continue to do the deliverance for people that God has called me to do. And I will continue to trust God. And I think more people need to trust God too as well. And just hold on to the Lord.
Yes, wow. Well, thank you so much. I am so very, very happy that we were able to today, because I think it's important. This is gone out there, and there's a young lady. What attracted me to it was a young lady, and I couldn't understand. I thought that at first I thought she was underage, when I realized she was 21 going to 22. I'm trying to understand it. It wasn't making any sense to me. And so I'm so glad I was able to meet her today, meet you. And as you said, hopefully one of these days I would love to be able to speak to her mother and to get her viewpoint on what has happened. Because it's a young lady. She's not a child. She's 21, 22 years old, and I wish you all the best in your ministry based on what I saw today and the people I spoke to at that ministry. I want to wish you all the best in it. Continue to care for people, and continue to do God's work, and do it in a way that you're helping society. And I say, continue. So may God bless you.
Thank you. Pray for the youth.
And pray for the youth.
Yeah, that part came to my heart and my spirit just now.
Yes, go ahead.
It came to me that more people, thank you, Holy Spirit, need to really pray for the youth, because this thing that you're seeing with the youth dying is deeper, is spiritual cloud over the youth. And that's why I have all the people in my ministry who I speak to really help the youth to get out of situations, really pray for the youth.
Yes, so you have a burden, a strong burden for the young people.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so much, Apostle. God bless you.
heal our land. Blood in the street where children used to play. Mothers on their knees don't know what to say. Brothers turn against brothers, hearts gone cold. We've traded love for silver, we've sold our soul. But if we humble, if we pray, turn from the darkness, seek your face. Heal our land, oh Lord, heal our land. Hear the cry rising from the sand. We repent, we turn again. Wash we hearts, make we whole, amen. Heal our land, oh Lord, here we plead. From the hills to the deep blue sea, mercy fall like island rain. Heal our land, Lord, once again. Heal our land, Lord, once again. Sirens in the night, another life gone. Fathers missing, the guidance done gone. We forget the roots that make we strong. Now every right just turning wrong. But if we humble, if we pray, turn from the darkness, seek your face. Heal our land, oh Lord, heal our land. Hear the cry rising from the sand. We repent, we turn again. Wash we hearts, make we whole, amen. Heal our land, oh Lord, here we plead. From the hills to the deep blue sea, mercy fall like island rain. Heal our land, Lord, once again. If we call on you, you will answer. If we turn from sin, you will hear us. If we seek your face, you will heal us. We humble, we self, we cry out today. Take the violence, take it away. Plant your love where fear has grown. Make this island yours alone. If my people, called by my name, will humble themselves and pray. Heal our land, oh Lord, heal our land. Yeah, hear the cry rising from the sand. We repent, we turn again. Wash we hearts, make we whole. Oh Lord, here we plead. From the hills to the deep blue sea, mercy fall like island rain. Heal our land, Lord, once again. Heal our land. Lord have mercy, save us all. Heal our land. Morning break, but the sky still gray. Sirens crying where children play. Mama kneel, but she afraid to pray. Too much gone and we lose the way. We inherit a sacred ground. Now is echoes and empty sound. Footsteps heavy, no joy around. Tell me, when did we turn this around? Can my country get back its beauty? Blood on the streets, that is not our duty. It's not the dream that the hero decree. So lift up this nation, please. Lift it higher, don't let it fall. From the smallest voice to the tallest call. If we stand, we could change it all. Lift up the nation, one and all. Hey! But no. Hey! Hands once built, now they're tearing down. Kings walking but without a crown. Truth get lost in the noise of town. While the youth them just drift and drown. But a spark still lay deep inside. Buried low but it can't hide. If we stand up with truth as guide, we could turn back this rising tide. Can my country get back its beauty? Blood on the streets, that is not our duty. This not the dream that the heroes decree. So lift up this nation, please. Lift it higher. from the pages past. Guard the future, make it last. Freedom never was built so fast. Every sacrifice holding fast. So we rise not in rage but will. Heart steady and spirit still. One voice louder than any hill. Together strong, together build. Can my country get back its beauty? Blood on the streets, that is not our duty. This not the dream that the heroes decree. So lift up this nation please. Lift it high and don't let it fall. From the smallest voice to the tallest call. If we stand we could change it all. Lift up the nation, one and all.
We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Oh, wow. It's a different evening, a very different evening. And I thought that, you know what, we needed to hear their side of the story, and for me to see what is happening to that young lady. And I'm going to end the show the way I started it, about, you know, speaking up when we see things happening around us, helping others, defending others. And I'm very, very serious about that comment where you don't stand up for other people's children, you don't defend, you don't, you know, I am not for that at all. I believe that it takes a village. It takes a village. That story that I was sharing about that young lady from St. Michael's School, you know, it turned out that nothing came of the case. I mean, you know, to our credit as a school, we made sure that we got, you know, we protected her as much as we could. You know, in the hands of became a case. And guess what? It was the mother who told her to tell the police, you know, so that her father would not go to jail and he would be around for the children. And the plan was, you know, she told her, when everything is over, he's going to move out and you won't be afraid anymore. You can live, you know, in our home with your brothers and sisters and myself, and not your dad. And would you believe what happened when she came out? She told me, she said, when he came home, she just moved him right back in, and she could not live in the same house. She was scared. And what they did, they then shipped her off to another country to live with people that she doesn't know very well. And that child suffered emotionally. She was so, when I went, she told me that this thing affected her so much that she would see him sitting on her bed. He's not there, but her mind, she started to see him sitting on her bed. These things, they are real. They are real. And somebody says, is that a good mother? Very, very good question. It's a good question. There was another case again in my community. We saw what was happening, a little young lady and the mother. Well, we saw her hiding as a child, you know, she was looking a little strange. So one night, she didn't want to go home. So we told her, come inside. She came in to the house and she started to explain that her to go with men. She, you know, she was in probably third or fourth form, and she was sending her. We don't want to hear these things, but it's real. And she that she said one of the men gave her the paper of shoes for doing whatever with him. You know what I did? I called the child care board. I did. I called the child care board because I believe I'm telling you, I will get into trouble for children. I will. I called the child care board, but apparently that's taboo for me to do. So the people in the community, everybody is that they start to, oh my God, the Jamaican. No, but you can't be doing that to a child and I in my presence, and I'm aware of it. I had lived in America, and in America, if you know that a child is being abused and you do not report it, you're in trouble. So I called the child care board. The child care board came down and they had all of this. And they left the child there. The child care board did zero for that child. Nothing. They did nothing for that child. And the case came up again because I was sticking to what the child told me, and the child was sticking to it until, and the mother, until, but guess what the mother did? The mother, was no time for court. The child was obviously underage, not even fifth form yet. You know what? What the man did? Brought a stereo set. A big stereo set for the mother and brought it to her and put it in the living room. The case was done. Again, the mother took the stereo set instead of standing up for her daughter. Where we are at Praise Academy, we hear the stories all the time. Whether it's the uncle, we've had stories of the brother. And some of these homes, they're Christian homes and they don't want anything outside. Yeah. I hear you. You are saying you want the young lady from the church to come to the show. I personally, she would come if I asked her, but I didn't want to interview her. I felt that I just felt leave her alone, let her be. I didn't want to expose her again. But I told her at some point if she wants to talk again, I would. But I will reach out to try to get the mother and the grandmother on the show for sure. Right? So these things, somebody says statutory rape doesn't exist anymore. It's called indecent assault. Really? I wasn't aware of that. Anybody know of any truth? I have to check into that. Anybody knows that whether that is true? Just reading some of your comments. Now, I see a comment there. A lot of people are not aware. Somebody asked a question. This is not a religious program, but you asked a question: Can a Christian be impacted by witchcraft? Somebody asked that question. But in the Bible, it tells us, you read the story of a Christian can be sick. Can a Christian be sick? Can a Christian go crazy? Have mental illness is a sickness. Can bad things happen to Christians? Yes. We know we're saying these things to be religious. Things can happen to Christians. Christians are people. So can witchcraft affect a Christian? Of course. Of course, it can. If bad things can happen to people, on the full armor of God, right? It tells you to put on the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit. What would you be fighting if it wasn't? If you weren't gonna have some kind of combat here and some kind of warfare happening, what is Christian doing with a sword? And what is the Christian doing with a shield and a helmet? This is a whole soldier's warfare. To do what? I mean, outfit. To do what? To do what? Yes, we do not. The Bible says we're not fighting flesh and blood, you know. I didn't even realize that there was so much witchcraft going on in this country until I started to do the show. Are you guys hearing my audio clearly? Judy, Jokes, can you hear me clearly? I was told that my audio was going in and out. Right. It says that we wrestle not against. It's going in and out still. It's very odd that it's going in and out. So it's doing its own thing. So that's what happened last time. So it's switching. It switched back. So were you hearing the interview, guys? You guys were hearing the interview? Trevor, were you hearing the interview? Very interesting what was going on there. Could you still hear the interview? Yeah, we're having some challenges. Something, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was going on there. So they're saying that it was going in and out all the time because yeah. Yeah. Okay, yes, I know you're hearing now because it is doing its own thing. All right. So I am so sorry that right. So we had some issues. Okay. But it was sent and received. Okay. All right. So somebody said they heard all of the interview too. Okay. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that. I do understand that. I was saying that it wasn't until I started to do the show. I know in Jamaica you have a lot of people who, involved in witchcraft and some of the other islands. I actually did not realize how many persons here were involved in that until I started to do the show and saw the stuff happening around my house, etc. then I really like, wow, you know, it's really very prevalent here, but I had no idea of what was involved, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Correct. So whether it is a people's voice, and so whether you like the person being interviewed or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether we like the person or not. That's why I say to us all the time, for me, I focus on principle. Right is right and wrong is wrong. If the child committed, or if not a child, she's a big woman, she's 21 years old, the police had all right to go in there if there was criminal activity happening and that child was a criminal. All right, or they were resisting arrest. And what would have been the reason for the arrest? What are the charges? That's the thing. Right? So really and truly, as I said, right is right and wrong is wrong. It is very important. I believe that, some advocacy group, they should be advocating on behalf of that young woman. Where are the women's groups in Barbados? Where are those women's groups? Why aren't they advocating for this girl, this young girl? Where are they? Where are they? Why don't you might not know everything. Where are the women's groups to investigate, to find out what happened to this young lady? And I'm going to say I believe it's because it's from a church. It happened in a church. So somehow we don't believe that yeah, you could think your child is being taken advantage of. You could think that. And the child, this child who's 21 years old. But to go in, my brother or my sister, with to go and arrest them and all of that, and take them back to the house, and you are not finding anything in that space, because if something was wrong, some people would have been arrested, right? Don't you think? If they went in and they found drugs and guns and tunnels and all these kinds of things, don't you think that people would be arrested? Yeah. So this is why I'm saying it's always, you could be emotional about it. You can do whatever you want to do. The point is this, that that person is 21 years old. And, the police can go to find out what is happening there. But the manner in which she was taken, and the fact is that she's not in jail. According to their story, there is no charge. We didn't see anything in the papers, and this young lady was charged for anything. But she would have had that experience of being arrested. Well, not arrested, being put in handcuffs, taken without her shoes. You see? So it's just a matter of what are where we're sticking with principles, or you know what? It's an apostle, and from the time we hear the word apostle, nobody wants to deal with that. And again, I'm asking where the women's groups to investigate, at least investigate what happened. Where are the human rights groups? Right. And did you sit on here and heard her talk about the sleeping How many of you heard about the sleeping arrangements for the male and female? Do you know something, cricket follower, about the sleeping arrangement other than what the lady said tonight? What did she say what was the sleeping arrangement? Unless you know something other than what was said here. What do you know about the sleeping arrangement? Did you hear her talk about the sleeping arrangement? You see? Well, I guess it's the same way when you have a camp. When we have a retreat or a camp, might be for a week. We take the children for a week, and we separate the young men from the girls. You could do that, and then things could happen. But once you have made all the necessary arrangements, when you have a church camp, what do? You're inviting both boys and girls to the camp. You can't have the boys sleeping in the same room with the girls, right? When you send your child to a church camp, you're taking a risk. So we, as the leaders of the camp, you could do all that you have to do and separate them. If they want to come together, you and I cannot stop them. Right? Yeah, you're right. The mother probably knows something about the church. Well, I would love if somebody has a number, just like I reached out for and somebody gave me the number for the apostle. I would love to get the number for the mother and the grandmother. I would love that. Yeah. All right, folks. So this is where we sign off tonight. A little different. But lots for you I could tell. I see the chat is going. Lots for you to talk about. So again, guys, I see you again. We see you again on Friday night. And we continue in some of the other issues in Barbados, but these are issues in Barbados. All right. Everything is not all about everything about the government. There are some social issues that we have to deal with. And I think that this is one of them. All right. So again, thank you all so much. Thanks to everybody who came. I can't call everybody's name who came down to help me tonight. God bless you. And we will continue to work on our technical. We did everything we're supposed to do, but these things happen again. The audio cut out again, but I'm glad at least you did hear most of the interview. All right. So God bless you all and have a good night.
Vaina, vaina, rise up, vaina, vaina, rise up, vaina, vaina, rise up, vaina, 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 rise up, vaina, vaina, rise up, vaina, vaina, rise up, vaina, vaina, rise up, rise up, my people, see the morning light. Rise up, stronger together, number will claim our right. Together, we strong. This is our moment, our future in sight. We've walked the valleys, we faced the storm. Still we are standing, proud and strong. With every trial, we've grown in grace. Now is the time, let us take our place. Never quit. Our dreams are alive. We are made for this. With faith unshaken, our voices sing. Barbados rising, let freedom ring.
From east to west, from coast to town, coast to town. Our island spirit will not back down, never down. Hand in hand, we'll build anew the promise of tomorrow.